Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, and Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones.
In 1984, George Lucas, Steven Spielberg, and Harrison Ford teamed up again to take us on our adventure of a lifetime with their follow-up Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. The film was by far darker than the first film. Spielberg knew making the second film would be a risk, saying that half of the fans of Raiders wanted to see Indiana Jones back and doing something different, and the other half wanted to see a copy of the first film with a different bad guy. So according to Spielberg, no matter what he did, half of the fans would be let down. Writers Wheeler Height and Gloria Katz spent 4 days at Skywalker Ranch in 1982 going over the story plans for the film. It's been reported that Lucas's only focus during those meetings was to get it over with, while Steven Spielberg was asking questions and adding his own thoughts. The writers handed Lucas a 20-page treatment in May 1982 called Indiana Jones and the Temple of Death. One issue they had in writing the film was how they would explain the Thuggee cult and make it fun. The first plan was to take place during a tiger hunt, but that was quickly shot down by Steven Spielberg, saying there's no way he would stay in India that long to film a tiger hunt. So the writers decided to make it a diner scene where the diners would eat strange, disgusting food, such as monkey brains. The film was released on May 23, 1984, and in its first week made a record-breaking $45 million. The film will go on to gross over $300 million worldwide. To help promote the film, Paramount reached out to many different companies. Marvel released a 3-part comic series of Temple of Doom. LucasArts teamed up with Atari Games for the Temple of Doom arcade game. As for the toys, rumors are that Kenner backed out of doing Temple of Doom toys after being unhappy with the Raiders of the Lost Ark toy sales, but that has never been confirmed. For the action figures, this time Paramount went with toy company LJN that was having success in the toy aisles with the Dungeons & Dragons line. Only 3 figures were released. Indiana Jones with a removable hat, a whip, a sword, and a gun. The giant Thuggee figure would come with a sword. The final figure was Motor-Rom, that came with his skull staff, a dagger, and removable headgear. An action figure based on Willie Scott and Short Round were planned, along with a minecart playset for Series 2, but they never got released. Although the movie was a huge hit, becoming the top-grossing film in the U.S. for 1984, the toy line, like the Raiders of the Lost Ark toy line, failed to make an impact. With the darker tone of the film, many parents found the movie too violent for younger kids, and that could have hurt sales. However, Indiana Jones has never been a huge success in the toy aisles, as it seems when it comes to Indiana Jones, kids rather play like they're Indiana Jones than play with Indiana Jones. Maybe playing with cult and Nazi action figures is not as fun as monsters, robots, and space aliens. LJN would also release that same year a Temple of Doom board game. The LJN figures were well made, even if the likeness of Harrison Ford isn't great. He looks more like your dad's best friend that's an insurance salesman. Each figure came with an action lever on the back of the figure that would be used to make his arm move. The figure line is great, but seems to be a little limited in play value with only 3 figures, and 2 of them being bad guys. Releasing Short Round in Series 1 could have gave the toy line a little more fun and given Indiana Jones a partner to fight the bad guys with. Well, that's a look at the failed toy line, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. As always, please thumb up so I know you like my content, subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk again soon.
Junkman.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.